Again in Gaza today, that's where sporadic violence between Israel and the Palestinians have escalated sharply. At least 5 Palestinians were shot dead by Israeli troops, and the leader of Hamas has called for the strengthening of a new intifada. Palestinian demonstrators were shot at as they marched on Gaza's eastern border fence with Israel. One witness said the Israeli soldiers first used rubber-coated bullets and stun grenades, then live ammunition. In addition to those killed, at least 25 others were wounded.
The Israeli occupation forces were taking position far from us, and we moved toward them throwing stones. From the watchtower, snipers shot at some youths.
The senior leader of Hamas in Gaza, Ismail Haniyeh, has called the wave of protests a new intifada. Speaking at Friday prayers in Gaza City, he called for the movement to be stepped up as the only way to achieve liberation.
The Battle of Jerusalem is our battle, and the intifada in the West Bank is our nation's intifada. We will not be late to be in the right place as always, and to always do the right action in support of our nation.
Palestinians and other protesters also clashed with police in Jordan as anger mounts across the region over Israel's restrictions on access to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in East Jerusalem. The clashes erupted after the demonstrators attempted to walk towards the Israeli embassy but were stopped by police, and some protesters were detained.
We send a clear message to the Jordanian government that its duty is to fulfill its responsibility as a custodian of the Al-Aqsa Mosque by taking a stern and clear position towards the Zionist actions that target Al-Aqsa and their attempts to spatially and periodically divide it.
For more now on this escalating tension there in the region, we're joined by our correspondent Noor Harazin, joining us live from Gaza. Noor, we now hear that at least 5 Palestinians have been killed in 2 separate incidents in Gaza, and that there's been even more violence elsewhere. What's the latest there?
Well, yes, Cody, the number now is up to 6 Palestinian youth killed and over 30 injuries. What happened is shortly after Friday prayers, Palestinian youth gathered in groups around the Gaza Strip, marched towards the border, and then clashes started between the Palestinian youth and Israeli soldiers. As you said, the Israeli soldiers started firing rubber and live bullets toward the protesters, which resulted in killing the Palestinians. The death toll in the Gaza Strip now is up to 6 Palestinians killed and over 30 injured. Regarding the West Bank, clashes continue in different cities around the West Bank, and the death toll is up to at least 8 Palestinians killed in the past 5 days and over 400 injuries.
This appears to sort of been triggered by Israel's action around the Al-Aqsa Mosque there in East Jerusalem. Can you sort of explain for us here what the dispute is around that mosque?
Have been happening since 1967, and nothing changed. But what changed recently is that the settlers started attacking by themselves the Palestinian Muslim worshippers inside Al-Aqsa Mosque and around the Palestinian occupied city of Holy Jerusalem. So this kind of action by the Israeli settlers enraged Palestinian youth to clash and launch attacks on Israeli settlers around the Palestinian holy city of Jerusalem.
And briefly here, Noor, Ismail Haniyeh, the top leader of Hamas there, he seems to be calling this an intifada, which would sort of be a strong statement. That's the name, of course, given to 2 previous Palestinian uprisings. Could this really be developing, as he suggested, into a 3rd intifada?
Well, yes, most of the Palestinian people here on the ground, even the officials, are expecting a 3rd intifada, because the first intifada and the second intifada, the Palestinian uprisings, started the same way, clashes between Palestinian youth and Israeli forces in the West Bank and in Gaza, and then it went bigger to an intifada. So everyone is expecting a 3rd intifada. However, here on the ground, you can find some people in Gaza who would not love for Gaza to be dragged to a new intifada or a new war, because You know, now it have been a year since the last Israeli offensive on Gaza, protective edge operation, and until now, there's 100,000 Palestinian people displaced, homeless. There is lack of medicine, medical supplies. So the people of Gaza will not hope for a third intifada.
All right, Noor Harazin reporting for us from Gaza. Noor, we know you'll continue to follow the latest on what is an escalating situation there in the region. Noor, thanks so much.